Hey, we've got a box. Let's see what's in it. All right. Check it out. We have two cameras. We got a backup camera and we have a front camera. And these are both from our good friends at Max Heating Rods.
A few months ago, Max Heating Rods sent me this radio here, and you all really seem to like it. The radio itself surprised me, mostly because it has a built-in 8-channel digital signal processor. The radio also has a ton of video inputs, including inputs for a pair of backup cameras. Today we're going to test out these two cameras right here. And this set of cameras gets an immediate thumbs up for the price. I'll make sure to give you a link down in the video description so that you can see for yourself that these are an amazing deal. But before you rush out and buy them, please keep in mind that they are only designed to work with the Q96 radio from Max Heating Rods.
All right, we got instructions. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to dig the radio out and hook it up to my power supply, hook it up to these two cameras, and show you the functions of these cameras.
Speaking of the Q96 radio, I want to show you two cables that came with the head unit. The first is this one right here. It is the backup camera connector. If you purchase a standard backup camera, this is the plug you want to use, and more on that later. Now this right here is very important. Even if you don't plan to use it, you still want to plug this plug in because it has these two blue wires. These are Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antennas. You're gonna need those. The other wire is this one right here. This is the DVR cable. It has a yellow connector for a rear camera, and that connector has a red wire. You need that wire to get a positive trigger so that the backup camera will turn on when you put the vehicle in reverse. It has a black connector, and that is for the front camera. There's some double-sided tape in the box. The front camera is designed to stick onto your windshield. Now this connector also provides DC power to operate these cameras, and you will definitely need a USB drive, either one plugged into the front or plugged into the USB cables that plug into the back of the head unit.
You know, I should probably verify that this red wire and this red wire are connected internally. There are many ways that you can do that, and one way you can do that is with a multimeter. This is a unit from Tessman, and what's interesting about it, first of all, it's very inexpensive. Second of all, it is an automatic one. It can test AC, DC, continuity, and resistance. So this wire here goes to your backup light, and this wire connects to the back of the radio. Perfect. It's also got a little light, which can be really handy sometimes. All right, I got everything hooked up, and now that I've got my power supply over here on my bench powered on, and it's going to automatically switch to DC voltage, and my power supply is sitting at 14.06 volts DC, which is not 12 volts. And a lot of people ask, hey, what's going on? Shouldn't this thing be at 12 volts if you're testing car audio? Well, if your car is running with the alternator on, you're going to be getting more than 12 volts. Now I'm going to connect the accessory wire and power on the radio. All right, we're powered on.
This head unit's been sitting in a box for a few months, so I'm curious to see if it has retained its memory and if it will automatically connect to my phone. It did. Android Auto fired up immediately and connected right to the phone with no issue. Let's take a look at the instructions that come with the camera. These instructions show you how to switch from DVR to normal backup camera mode and vice versa. Let me show you that real quick. They're not working either as backup cameras or DVR cameras.
Here's what I found. If you look at the manual, this plug right here, O1 is a DVR camera input, and it goes right beside plug 2. Plug 2 is where all the various RCAs and whatnot plug in. The backup camera input is here, connection 03, which is right here. So over here, I've hooked up a camera that I got from NVX. and I'm gonna put power to this camera real quick. So that camera has power. You can see the very, very bright LED lights. Let me zoom in right here and I'll show you what happens when you trigger it. And there we go. We get a picture of the light above my table, and it's fuzzy, because I still have that protective film over it. So the cameras they sent me aren't backup cameras. They have the wrong kind of connections for a backup camera. They are a front and a rear camera for what I assume is recording as you drive down the road. And I am struggling to figure out what to do with them at this point, because I can't figure out how to view them from the radio. The instructions are nothing but this one page. It shows you the connections, the exact connections that I showed you just a minute ago.
Now this leaves me with two big questions. One, can I run 3 cameras, a backup camera plus the 2 DVR cameras? And 2, how do I actually get the DVR cameras to work? I need to take a break from filming and do a little bit of research to see if I can figure out how these things work.
All right, it is the next day and I have set everything up here. Let me show you what I've done. I have taken the 2 cameras and I've mounted them to my board here.
So I want to show you 2 different ways that you can get the cameras to connect and operate. Let's take a look at method number 1, which is probably the easiest way.
We see here the little hash in the icon is gone. This is the backup camera wire, and I'm gonna go ahead and connect it. All right, no signal. Why is there no signal? We're gonna hold down this screen and we get this menu pops up. So we're gonna hit camera and we have to select a camera. Now the backup camera input doesn't do this. You can just plug any backup camera you want in that because it is using your more traditional RCA type plugs. And we go back to camera and we hit this button right here, and now it's going to detect this camera right here. And we can adjust the camera itself however we like. When you take the vehicle out of reverse and put it into another gear, neutral or drive, bam, camera view switches. And we've switched to the front camera.
Now method number 2. Hit the app menu button in the lower left, then swipe until you find the settings. Inside the settings, you want to choose System, then About System. Then factory setting, and enter this code right here before choosing other setting. From there you can select DVR HD camera mode, which will let you choose a camera. Back out of the menus and make sure you save. This will restart the head unit.
Let's go into our settings and we're gonna click on DVR, and that is going to automatically pull up both cameras. And you can see right here, 57, 57, it is recording. So if you're driving down the road and you wanted to see what's behind you, you can hit this and you can have that rear view. Got a file save location. You do need a USB drive plugged in order to save the files. We got a recording time interval, so that is a loop. So it's gonna do a loop of 1 to 5 minutes, depending on how you wanna set it up. Let's see, replay. Please stop the recording first, okay. So we can stop the recording and we can replay, and we have all these files. And here is after reversing display the look ahead time. So we can switch that camera to 3 seconds, 5 seconds, or 10 seconds. What we see here is the ability to snap pictures. We can take pictures of the front, take pictures of the back. Wanted to show you this. This is the actual video playback. So I'm recording a recording. The screen looks great.
Well, there is a snag. When I opened the video player app, I was able to find the DVR recordings from the cameras, but they would not open or play. So I unplugged the USB drive from the head unit and downloaded the files to my computer, and they didn't play there either. I don't know what to do with that. One of the main reasons to have a dash cam is so that if you get into a crash, you can use it as evidence that the other person caused the crash. How am I gonna do that if I can't download the videos? If someone out there can figure out how to actually get these videos off of the device and play them, let me know down in the comments. I'm gonna run another test, but before I do that, I wanna thank all of my patrons. Down here at the bottom of the screen is a scrolling list of my $10 supporters, and I always give a bonus shout out to the $25 patrons: Bo, David T, Bam Bam, Dylan, JD, and Baba. If you enjoy this kind of content, please join me on Patreon so I can keep making more of it. I'm gonna hook up both the DVR cameras and the standard backup camera now to see if I can run 3 cameras at once. If that works, then you could take the rear DVR camera and mount it anywhere.
No, nothing, nothing, nothing. Oh, something. Right there, we got an error message on the screen. So that hypothesis that I could hook up 3 cameras was incorrect.
And that's why I test this kind of thing, so that I can find out. To find out more about max speeding rods, click this video right here. I'm Justin, this is the DIY Audio Guy YouTube channel. To subscribe, click right here, and I will see you on the next adventure.